Kim Jong-un often makes headlines, not just for stirring up trouble, but also for his enormous wealth. The leader of North Korea reportedly has around $5 billion at his disposal, though some suggest he might actually have access to over $100 billion. Kim's personality is known to be quite unique, and he holds absolute power in his nation. Combining his quirky nature and unlimited authority, it's no surprise that he splurges on items that are simultaneously lavish and absurd. Curious about the specifics? Here's a glimpse into how Kim Jong-un uses his vast wealth. Thanks for tuning into our channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Number 5. Cars. Kim Jong-un, with his immense wealth, is rumored to own more than 100 cars, and he's a big fan of Mercedes-Benz. In North Korea, kids learn that Kim was a driving genius who supposedly started driving at age 3. But that raises the question, how could he drive if he was too small to even reach the pedals? Kim's love for Mercedes-Benz doesn't fall far from the tree. His dad, Kim Jong-il, adored the brand too. He had an impressive collection of over 30 Mercedes-Benz cars. Some of his top picks included models like the G500 and S65 AMG. But his all-time favorite was the S600 Pullman Guard. After his dad passed away, Kim Jong-un got all his Mercedes-Benz cars, including a special limousine. This S600 Pullman Guard is a super strong car from the S-Class series, built to meet Europe's tough B7 safety standards. It's so tough it can handle bullets, C4 grenades, and more. Plus, it has special tires that keep going even if they're flat, a fuel tank that won't leak, better brakes, and a big 5.5-liter V12 engine. Since Kim Jong-un has many enemies in Western countries, he really needs this kind of protection. He also has other cool cars like the Audi R8, Range Rover Sport, and Rolls-Royce Phantom. Number 4. Palaces. Ever wonder where Kim Jong-un stays? It's a good bet he wonders the same thing sometimes. He's got not 1, not 2, but 17 palaces and even his own private island. With so many homes, he might not even recall his exact spot at any given moment. 17 palaces seem excessive, even for someone with billions, but who knows? He might be searching for more. He's known for his big spending. As you'll notice throughout this video, the man owns a ton of things. Among all his luxurious spots, the Kummusan Palace of the Sun holds a special place in his heart. The Kummusan Palace of the Sun sits just outside Pyongyang. It used to be the work and living place for Kim Il-sung, the first leader of North Korea, but in 1994, it changed a lot. Now it's a huge tomb for Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-un's granddad, and his son Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-un's dad. Both of them are in different rooms in glass cases where the temperature and air are always just right. This palace tomb is one of the biggest in the world. Inside, it's all about big spaces. The walls are wide, the ceilings are high, there are big stairways, and everything is fancy and rich looking. The Kummusan Palace of the Sun doesn't just have the leaders' resting places. There are lots more rooms showing off the honors, medals, and cool things both leaders did when they were alive. There's a special room with statues of the leaders, a place where people can show they're sad they're gone, and areas that tell about their travels in North Korea and to other countries. They even have special things that belong to the leaders, like the train car where Kim Jong-il died, his golf cart, and his boat. These items are kept just like they were when he used them. Pictures of meetings with world leaders are hung on the walls. Outside is a beautiful park with grass, fountains, colorful flowers, and a water area with swans. The whole place is surrounded by a big stone wall. Many Korean people like to take group pictures in the park after they visit. Kim Jong-un has his own cinema inside one of his palaces. Many rich folks like having fancy movie rooms, but Kim's is something else. It was super expensive to make and has space for 1,000 people. That might sound weird, but maybe not when you hear he owns 20,000 movies, a lot of them from Western countries. And then there are the pianos. Kim really loves them. He has over 30. They say he's got about 36, and each one costs around $60,000. Why does he want so many? We think maybe he loves feeling super wealthy wherever he is. And don't forget, he's got loads of palaces. Number 3. Private jets. Just like the US president has a plane named Air Force One, Kim Jong-un has his own Air Force One too. It's a big, old 4-engine plane from the Cold War times called the Il-62M. This plane can fly really far, about 10,000 kilometers. That means it can go all the way from North Korea to places like the US. West Coast or cities in Europe like Zurich in Switzerland or Stockholm in Sweden without stopping. It can easily handle a trip from Pyongyang to Singapore, which is about 5,000 kilometers, in case North Korea and the US decide to have a meeting there, something people have talked about a few times. Kim also has another private plane, the Antonov An-148, made in Ukraine. This plane first flew in a test in 2004, and they started making a lot of them in 2009. North Korean news has shown Kim using his new An-148 plane. They even snapped a photo of him in the plane, which had been redone just for him, during a flight over Pyongyang for his dad's birthday in February 2015. In the pictures, Kim's seen at a big wooden desk with a lamp and ashtray, sometimes looking out over the city from a fancy white leather chair. From space, people have seen that Kim made new runways next to some of his family's palaces all over the country. These runways are big enough for his new plane to land. This was one of the first things he did as leader, and he seems to really like flying. He even tried flying what might have been this plane himself. In a film from 2014, they showed him in the pilot's seat, checking everything, taking off, flying around and coming back down, all with a professional pilot helping out. Number 2. Watches and alcohol collection. Sometimes rich folks really go over the top. Imagine Kim Jong reportedly has watches totaling $8 million. Just think about that. He owns watches worth millions of dollars. It's kind of wild, right? You've got to be pretty disconnected from everyday life to gather such a collection. It's one thing to be wealthy and not really get ordinary struggles, but it's something else entirely when you're in charge of a whole country. Kim Jong is known for thinking he's quite the fashion guy, so it's not too shocking he has so many watches to match his outfits. The leader of North Korea, Kim Jong enjoys his drinks, which is okay. Lots of people do. But not everyone spends $30 million a year bringing in fancy drinks for themselves and their friends, right? One reason for this huge amount is that he only likes really pricey brands. For example, he's into Hennessy, which can cost more than $2,000 for a top-notch bottle. This kind of spending shows what sets super rich people apart from everyone else. If you have lots of money, you might drop more than $2,000 on a bottle and think it's cool. But for most people, that idea is just crazy. Number 1. Investments. Kim Jong-un, a leader of North Korea, has a lot of business buildings all over his country that he owns for real. He spent $100 million to build the Pyongyang amusement park and the Munsu water park. But after they were built, he wasn't too happy with them, calling them disappointing. He's also really into horses. He's got many top quality horses, and he spends a big chunk of the country's money, about 20%, just on places for the horses to live and be trained. And don't forget about golf. Kim Jong-un's family has always loved the game. His dad, Kim Jong-il, even claimed he made 11 super tough shots in one day at his own golf course. It seems like Kim Jong-un's family might stretch the truth a bit too. I mean, who really believes that golf story? He owns several private golf courses, and they're not cheap either. Around $3 million to set up each one and about $500,000 every year to keep them going. Then he spent roughly $35 million making a ski resort. He says it's to attract tourists, but he probably just loves skiing and wanted his own spot to do it. The resort sounds pretty nice with cozy rooms, a spa, a place to eat, and ski trails that go on for 70 miles. That's the kind of thing you can build with millions of dollars taken from a country. If you liked hearing about this, be sure to watch more videos on our channel. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.